Hey folks, just thought I would shoot a quick video this morning to show a few records that I got in the mail the other day. It is a Victory Monday. How about that? Uh, if you are, if you have speculated about my reaction to the ending of yesterday's Dolphins Patriots game, well, speculate no more. I was ecstatic. I haven't. All right, so let's talk about the highs and lows of yesterday's game. I going into the game, I had mixed feelings. I think, as a realist, I think I have felt that the Patriots are the better team as far as you know, but hope always springs eternal, and you'd like to think that your team is going to play hard and maybe ruin somebody's season, and I certainly um, look forward to any time the Dolphins can upset the Patriot plans. Um, yeah, so going into the game, I thought, well, they are coming to South Florida, and the Patriots have a hard time in Miami, and yesterday was no exception. Dolphins came out and played well. I was also concerned. I hoped Gase would kind of be uh, a little more aggressive because I wasn't happy with the loss to the Colts. How do you call a draw play on 3rd and 10? You know, I mean, I get trying not to lose the game, except that usually causes you to lose the game. I've always kind of felt like if in those situations you gotta die with your boots on. Go for it. I mean, so anyway, we about an hour and a half before the game heard that Xavier Howard had to have minor surgery on his knee, so he would miss a week. And I'm thinking, oh well, that's great. Why this week? Because the Dolphin defense is not the greatest, but one thing they do extremely well is the defensive backs have good hands, and they are, I don't know, somewhere toward the top of the league in interceptions. And Xavier Howard is the NFL leader right now, and we were going to be playing Tom Brady without him. So, but I thought, well, we still have a shot, and we did. Played them tough. Uh, kept kept feeling like this game could get away from us, especially having two punts blocked. I mean, how do you, that's something I would be all over the special teams coach and the punter about today. How do you get two punts blocked? Maybe it's the blocking. I don't know, but they need to get that fixed in a hurry. Still, even with their goofs, the Patriots weren't all that great. I mean, how does Tom Brady get that second punt blocked, get the ball back, and then leave? Then not call a timeout and let the time run out and not get a field goal. I'm glad he did. They kept us in the game, but that wasn't good. Um, so then we get in the fourth quarter, and going in the fourth quarter, I felt fortunate. We're up by one, and we've had two punts blocked. How does that happen? But we had a 1 point lead. Of course, with Brady, that's not enough. They got a couple of field goals. And after that second one, they only leave us 16 seconds. And we get two plays. First one gets us up the field a little bit, not very, not very far, but and then the play, and I don't know what to even say about that. I figured Tannehill is not going to throw the ball from there all the way to the end zone. So there's going to have to be some laterals, and somebody's going to have to break it free. First thought was Albert Wilson's out. He's one of our speed guys. But we still have some wide receivers, and sure enough, Kenyon Drake. Now, what people don't realize is that Drake, if you look at him, especially on the field compared to the wide receivers, I mean, he looks like a running back. He's thicker, but hey, he can move. He's got breakaway speed, and I don't know how much other people are aware of that. I'm a Dolphins fan, so obviously I know, because the first thing I did after we traded Jay Ajayi last year was figure out who this Kenyon Drake kid is, and one thing that became obvious, especially when he broke a couple touchdowns, is that if you let Drake get past you, good luck, because he's not easy to catch, and I think that's what happened yesterday. Gronkowski found out that when this guy turns the corner, you better have the angle. You better have it, because he'll blow right by you. So yeah, there when Drake got the ball, and then you kind of felt like he was looking for another lateral, and then all of a sudden he saw daylight. Oh my gosh. So that was amazing. I always love being the Patriots. I don't know that I've ever hated another team as much as I hate the Patriots, and yeah, and it's not just haterade. People might think that, but the Bills in the '90s were a thorn in the Dolphins' side. But you'll never hear me talk bad about them because they were a class act team. I just can't. I can't stand people that cheat. I don't have any. If you're good, nobody can fault you for that. Be good, but you can't tell me that the Patriots are as good as their build, because their own actions say that they don't think. If Bill Belichick thought his teams were as good as what their build, he wouldn't be cheating. So anyway, we're 8 minutes. Victory Monday. Way to go, Dolphins. Now, hopefully, we've gotten the AFC Championship out of New England and any place. Go Chiefs, because I'd rather see anybody but the Patriots go. Stinking Cheatriots. All right. So for all the non-Patriot fans that have, all the Patriot fans have probably tuned out by now, but let's get into these albums real quick. This is all Christian music, came from Girder music, and some of it was used, most of it was sealed, and the stuff that was used and has a little bit damaged, I knew that when going in. And I didn't pay. This was an awesome Black Friday sale, so I didn't pay. I think most of these mine averaged around $4, so I was very pleased with all of it. So anyway, first album, Passage. You can already see there's some damage, but I knew it was used. This is a 1981 album. It is funk, from what I understand, and that made me interested. I had never heard of this band and thought I would give them a shot. Interestingly enough, it does have the original liner sleeve. Interestingly enough, it's on A&M, and I'm pretty sure 81 was before the big Word A&M deal, so they must have been just signed to A&M. But I'll be interested to get that cleaned up and get it spun. The interestingly enough too, the this almost feels like it's a European pressing because the thin stock used for the cover. So that's Passage. Yeah, Passage, Christian funk album. Then we've got a band called Liberation Suite. This is Stride for Stride. It is also a 1981 release on Star Song. Not too familiar with this band. I've heard the name a few times, so I grabbed this one. This is their sophomore album. Their first one came out in 75, so it was a 6-year gap between the first album and this album. They are rock. There's a picture of the band. Best I can tell from the sound samples, they are rock. I don't know how hard, but there's the band, lyrics, and Star Song label. So I'll be looking forward to checking them out. This album I'm familiar with. I had it on cassette back in the day. It's Harvest, Only the Overcomers. This is Steve Williams and Ed Kerr. And they have got some great studio musicians playing on this album with them. Abraham Laboriel on bass, Bill Maxwell on drums, Harlan Rogers keyboards, Hadley Hawkinsmith guitar, Dean Parks guitar, Brian Mann synthesizers, Steve Taglioni horns, Alex Acuna on percussion. And a lot of those, if you turn up on, a lot of those guys turn up on a lot of different albums. They are incredible studio musicians. A lot of them, I think a lot of them play in the Christian jazz group Koinonia as well. Got your insert. On Green Tree. All right, next up, Terry Scott Taylor, Daniel Amos band. He is the principal songwriter, lead man of Daniel Amos. This is a solo album called Briefing for the Ascent. This is on Frontline in 1987. It's got a original, or it's got an insert with lyrics, picture, and it is on the Frontline label. This is a 1987 recording. Tell you, Terry Scott Taylor is just such a masterful songwriter. His solo albums range are a little in style a little bit too. He did a very different kind of almost Americana album with a label called Silent Planet, and that album is called Avocado Fault Line. Absolute masterpiece. So that is Terry Scott Taylor. Next up, Rambo Country. So we got the Rambos, and I think it's pretty self-explanatory that this is a country kind of album. Gatefold. It is a 2-album set. Of course, you know that means Dottie, Buck, and Reba. It's on Heartwarming Records from 75, I believe. 76. Heartwarming. Hello, Aretha. She's right off to my side here, helping me. Yeah, great. There's the back with some songs. Always great to have some Rambos. Sweetheart, I'm going to need you to move. Look how big this girl is getting. Yes, she's getting so big and squirmy. Oh. You good, girl? Ah, no. Wants to fight. Okay, Altar Boys, Against the Grain. Love this album. Love this band. They don't get talked about enough. Mike Stand, yes, the lead singer is named Mike Stand. Also plays guitar. Rick Alba, bass, and Jeff Crandall on drums. Man, and this was produced by Terry Scott Taylor and the Altar Boys. Great songs on here. Hearts Lost to Nowhere, Against the Grain. I don't know if it's as classic as, say, like Gut Level Music, but it's a good album. Got an insert. This was sealed. And a little different front line. Yeah, a little different front line label. And finally, Brian Head Welch. Yes, I actually have an album that is related to a 90s rock group because Brian Head Welch, of course, was in Korn. This is Save Me From Myself. I've got this on CD, but couldn't pass up the album at such a good price. Nice picture on the inner sleeve with really tiny lyrics on the other side. And then pretty heavy album with custom centering. All right, and that is that mail. And sorry I went so long, but I'm so excited about the Dolphins whooping the Patriots yesterday. Well, not whooping, but we definitely took it out of the evil empire yesterday. So hope everybody's having a great Victory Monday, and we will see for Jake and Aretha. We'll see you soon. Have a good one.